everyone, it's Desiree and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you another card using a simple stamp. It's by Simon Says and it's called Lots of Dots. So I'm first going to take a sheet of Canson XL watercolor paper. Yes, it is my favorite. And I'm going to use my favorite Wonky rectangle stitch die. And I'm going to cut out my shape. I'm then using my VersaFine black Onyx ink. And I first want to figure out where I'm going to put my sentiment. Now, this sentiment is from Stampin' Up, and unfortunately it is discontinued, but the scripts were absolutely gorgeous. So, sorry about that. I don't mean to use something that is discontinued. So, I'm going to place that into position, and I'm going to, of course, use my clear embossing powder from Recollections, and we're going to set that in place. I wanted to put that in its spot so I knew where else I was going to stamp. I've now grabbed a couple different sizes of these circles and I'm going to stamp one on top of each other, but I want to offset them. I don't want the stamping to be perfect. So I'm almost creating a scribble. And I know we can buy those stamps, but this is a way to just take a simple shape and create what you're looking for. I'm going to use my clear embossing powder again so I can get those set in place as well. Heat set them, of course. And then, of course, as you can see, I added another one, which is, then I realized, okay, it's even. I like to work in odd numbers. If you can't tell, I guess it's the rule of thirds. But anyway, back to what we were doing here. Sorry about that. Now I'm taking a smaller square and I'm creating the same thing in the center of the larger ones. So you can see I'm kind of creating a scribble flower. And then since I did notice that I was even there, I created a smaller one up in the top just to add a different size. So now I've pulled out my Distress inks. And right now I'm pulling out Pink Raspberry, Abandoned Coral, Spice Marmalade, Squeeze Lemonade, Peeled Paint, and Mowed Lawn. So I've grabbed my water and I'm grabbing my paintbrush. I'm wetting the area first and then I'm picking up the color and I'm just dropping it into the area that I've already saturated with water. This is a wet in wet technique and I'm just letting these inks work on their own. I'm not forcing them to blend. I'm not forcing them to create a different color. I'm just making the area saturated with water, not too much, but just wetting it. And then I'm just choosing two different colors and dropping it in, and they will actually blend on their own. The centers, of course, I'm going to make a different color. So that's where I'm mainly using the Squeeze Lemonade and maybe the Abandoned Coral or the Spice Marmalade. I've pulled in two more colors, Evergreen Bough, which to me is it's my favorite color. I love this shade. And then Tumbled Glass. I wanted the other two flowers here to have a different color. Instead of all of them being in the reds to yellows or oranges, I wanted to add just a little bit of like a sea green or blues. So again, just wetting the area that I'm looking for, dropping in the color, and then I'm going back to the ones that I already did because I didn't want to go too close to the line because I didn't want them to bleed into the centers. So now I'm just adding a touch of water and some more colors or pulling the ink from what's already sitting there into those sections so I don't have those white areas going around the flower. And you can see these colors, they move. That's the beauty of watercolor. I am not a watercolorist. I am not a watercolor artist. I love trying different things, and this card making does make me do that. Here I realize I did not like these two colors put together. So when you have a mistake in watercolor, all you have to do is just lift it up if it's still wet with a paper towel. If it had dried, you would just add water on top of it so that you could lift it up. Most colors will lift back up once they are re-wetted, so to speak. I don't know if that's a phrase or a word. Some colors won't. Some colors do stain, but since these distress inks, they're a little bit different of a pigment, they will lift. Now we're working on the leaves. So this is where the mowed lawn and the peeled paint comes in. And I'm literally freehanding these. And it's basically just making like a C shape with your brush. Make sure you take the point of the brush on the furthermost part and pull it in to the area where you want the base of the leaf to be. So whether it's the stem, in this case it's the flower, but you can see it's a simple shape. By pulling it in that way too, the ink actually puddles at the base of the leaf. So that's where you can get that spreading and that shading automatically to go up into the leaf. Here's where I'm also adding those two new colors, the Evergreen Bough and the Tumbled Glass, into the leaves just to give it a different color. I'm going to heat set that with my heat tool. Make sure that it is dry before I set it up onto a piece of fun foam, which will then sit onto a navy 4.25 by 5.5 card base. It's a simple, very elegant looking birthday card, I think, and it's very easy to do. Please give this a try. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more. You can also, as always, check out my blog for other projects that I'm doing or series that I've created, and share your creations. Supplies that I use will be listed below. As always, take care and be creative.